Hey, y'all, welcome back to Mountain Murders.
I'm Heather.
And I'm Dylan.
I needed a reminder. I almost forgot who you were.
How are you doing today, Heather?
You know, Dylan, I'm great, right? I've had a productive day, but I have a rant. Can I rant and rave for a moment?
Go ahead and lay it on us.
We talk about this quite a bit, and I know we have a lot of female listeners who will understand where I'm coming from. The fucking misogyny on the internet kills me.
I must say, even as a man, and I'm not like that. You know, I'm a pretty good guy. But the misogyny everywhere on the internet is so obvious. And it's always there. It always rears its ugly head. And I just don't understand the men out there who think like that.
Okay, hear me out. We never create TikToks, right? Like, that's the thing. Everybody's on TikTok. We pretty much just kind of like avoid making those. But I've started trying, right? I'm putting forth some effort. We're content creators. I'm trying to create some content.
I enjoy your TikToks.
Put some information out there. Right off the bat, men coming for me. Like, you have an insufferable voice. And I'm like, then fucking suffer, bro.
And don't listen. Are you
Then
stupid?
hear it.
Yeah.
Your face is stupid. Look at your glasses. What's up with that hair?
See,
and I'm like, what does that have to do with anything? It is the most irrelevant bullshit. And that's all you have to say?
they always attack your looks. They always have some dumb comment. It's not even like any kind of constructive criticism of the content. It's always just going like
It's just trash. It's these trash comments. And it's always from some dude who doesn't even have like a profile picture.
Right.
No videos. Just trolling. Like, just looking for women to try to, I guess tear them down, insult them.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Well, these same types of guys, they're everywhere. I'm sorry, guys. It's true. The guys listening, if you're pissed off by this, you're probably one of those guys. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and you know what? You can suck it.
But I'm going to figure our listeners are pretty smart people. So most everybody out there is cool people, right?
And if you're not, then come over and I'll headbutt you with my big dumb face. How's that?
These types of people are the reason inside the virtual metaverse or whatever they're trying to crank up, they've already had to put a safety barrier around people's avatars because these creeps, I'm sorry, nothing but creeps, will come up and like try to engrope women's butts and boobs in the virtual world where your hand like disappears when you touch another avatar. You can't even see your hand, but they're still doing it. To the point of as soon as they, start this crap, women are complaining about being groped and made to feel uncomfortable in a fucking virtual world. So what is wrong with you people?
I don't get it.
Oh my gosh.
I'm just like, there are lots of other ways to insult me besides like, you have short hair and your face is stupid. I mean, really? Wow. How creative.
Well, it's always the most idiotic comments. And
it's the same with like reviews.
It's
We've
everywhere.
talked about this before. Everybody raves about Dylan, and then it's always like, that female host.
Yeah.
Dylan's awesome, but she's dumb or whatever. And I'm like, cool, because Dylan basically just shows up 5 minutes before recording time.
Hey, and I'm fine with that.
And
title.
that's all he does.
That's
he says some dumb shit. But yeah, let's praise Dylan and then tell me I'm a piece of shit. I don't understand it. It's like the internet is just full of garbage and these people are ridiculous, and it makes me want to make more TikToks where I literally just roll out of bed and look like shit so they have to look at me.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So then you can insult me some more because I'm just like, well, I'm not going to fucking put on makeup so it makes you feel better about yourself. I'm fine.
Now, I must say, I feel like
it's fucking weird. I just don't get this world we live in.
I don't either. And I don't understand these people who, and it's the anonymity of the internet that even brings out the worst part of human nature. But like me and you have talked about, even before the internet, there was this attitude was out there in society. Now you just have an easier way of getting it out to the world and just being a douche.
Sticks and stones.
Oh my God.
I'm like, do you really think you're like hurting my feelings? I mean, you're not paying my bills, right? I don't give a fuck what you think.
Well, you know
what? It makes me
what?
want to be even uglier.
We'll move on, but all I can say to those people is just keep scrolling, bud. You don't have to stop and look.
Okay, end rant.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm going to put the little rant dog back up.
It's really fucking stupid.
It
Pisses
is
me off.
stupid, but
I'm just sick of fucking dumbass people in the world.
what
Okay?
what offsets these things happen very, a comment here, a comment there, are the 98% positive, incredible feedback we get on all platforms, including at YouTube, where don't forget we're over there. Go look us up and
Oh my god! Now
subscribe.
YouTube is where like the garbage comments live,
YouTube and Facebook. I'm sorry.
and it's always like people who can't spell and don't even know how to like form a complete sentence.
But anyway, 98% great feedback, and we love all our listeners. And except for the people who think we're insufferable, then turn it off. Find something else.
Yeah,
bud.
and you don't like the way I look? Well, you don't have to look at me. And you
All
don't
right.
like it, then run up.
Damn.
Yeah. Fuck around and find out.
Fuck around and find out.
Look, my bulldog face will fuck you up because I will headbutt you. So come on.
She has a low center of gravity too. Watch yourself.
Yeah, I go low.
Yep, she chops them down, guys.
Take your fucking knees out. All right, Dylan, we have some true crime news this week. I don't know. I mean, besides like trash people in the world, we've got more trash people. We've got some real shitbirds out there. Sadly, it seems like there is some uptick in child stories, child cases. Who are these people hurting these children? It's everywhere.
Yeah.
It seems like the last couple of weeks, that is all we're getting as far as true crime news. It's just these horrific stories involving children. And I don't know what's going on in the world.
Yeah, you've mentioned this in our Discord chat. You've been putting up article after article, just these horrible crimes against various children, and that type of thing infuriates us and makes us sick, like most people. And I can't. That's one of those things I can't wrap my head around, is just being this cruel to a child, a defenseless child.
I don't understand, because literally every news story I've looked at today, I would say 9 out of 10 stories involve children. So if you don't want to hear about cases involving children, you might want to skip ahead like 5 or 10 minutes.
Okay. So here we go.
Right now, in, I believe it is Kentucky, the mother and stepfather of a 4-year-old girl who has not been seen for more than a year have been arrested for her murder days after the child was found in Woodland area of Kentucky. Catherine Abigail McKinney, age 21, and her boyfriend Dakota Hugh Hill, age 26, have been charged with the murder and abuse of a corpse over the disappearance of Serenity McKinney.
My God.
Kentucky State Police said that Serenity's remains were discovered this past Friday afternoon in a wooded area in West Point near the state border with Indiana. Now, it's not yet clear when the little girl died or how long her body had been left in the woods. It's also unclear at this point what led investigators to this crime scene. They performed an autopsy earlier this week. So far, I've not seen a release like as far as the cause of death, as far as the autopsy goes. She was last seen alive back in December of 2020, and investigators say that family members have been telling them they had not had any contact with the 4-year-old little girl for months.
My God.
The little girl's aunt told WLKY that she saw the 4-year-old around the holiday season and spoke to her by phone a few months later before Serenity's mother cut off all contact with extended family. So they did see her Christmas of 2020 at a family Christmas event. And then they spoke to the little girl Father's Day week, which was in June of 2021. But after that, no more contact, according to the child's stepmother, Andrea Wainscott.
Yeah, so not only you do this to a child, you do it to your own child. How does a mother who birthed this little baby hurt the baby?
Well, the family contacted Child Protective Services, and they did file a missing persons report on January 31st. Multiple law enforcement agencies got involved searching for this missing child before they tragically discovered her body last week. Serenity's mom and boyfriend were first arrested in connection with the little girl's disappearance on February the 6th. McKinney and Hill were taken into custody all the way in Colby, Kansas.
Wow.
On charges of custodial interference. Now, I don't know why they were in Kansas at the time of their arrests, if they were living there, if they just happened to be on the run.
Now, let me make sure I got this straight. So before they were charged with the death of the child, they were arrested for custodial interference, taken into custody, and then once they got them back to Kentucky, they were charged with the murder and all that.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna guess in my true crime mind that whatever information finally led to her remains being discovered also included enough evidence to formally bring the full murder charges and all that against the parents.
This case is eerily similar to the Evelyn Boswell case in Tennessee.
Yeah.
Happened, well, kind of around the same time frame.
Was that the poor little baby found in the building with all her belongings?
Yes.
Oh my God. That one right there, I tell you what.
While the mother, Maggie Boswell or Megan, I don't know, she has like 50 different names.
Right.
She was sending police on this wild goose chase. They had the grandmother and her boyfriend in custody. They were like tracking them through North Carolina. They were on the run for like drug charges or something. And this girl, Maggie, is telling all these stories about this little girl, and then they find her on family property.
Here's the thing. In these families with these twisted people are good family members, right? Good people.
Yes.
Who love and care and all of a sudden realize, hey, where's the baby, or where's my grandkids, or this and that, and then they're just gone. And then they're hit with this enormous sorrow of the death of the child. Not only that, but then there are other family members having, caused the death of the child. I mean, talk about devastation. Oh, my God.
It's really heartbreaking. And this little girl, I mean, she's so cute. She had the cutest little face.
It pisses me off.
Yeah. I mean, it's really sad. This little angel has been taken from her family.
Well, they say innocent until proven guilty. So as I always say, if this is true, if they did that to the child and they're the ones who caused her death and harmed her, then they're pieces of shit.
Shitbirds.
I hope they die.
They are super shitbirds.
So there's that.
And we have another shitbird here to talk about. Dylan, a potential serial killer, has been arrested in Albuquerque, New Mexico. So back in the late 80s, young women all over Albuquerque were in fear for their lives because a series of chilling murders was sweeping the city. A University of New Mexico student named Althea Oakley, she was 21, was stabbed to death June of 1988 while she was walking home from an on-campus party. Months later, in September of 1988, a 13-year-old named Stella Gonzalez was shot and killed while she walked near Tingley Beach with a friend. The violent killing stopped until 1989 when Caitlin Arquette was fatally shot in the head while driving in downtown Albuquerque. After years of wondering who killed these three women, police finally got a break in July of 2021 when the University of New Mexico police arrested a 54-year-old man named Paul Apodaca on a probation violation. Now, while he was in custody, he confessed to killing these three women and raping numerous other women.
Oh, my God.
He was homeless when he was arrested, and he told police that he had a deep hatred for women.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
In 1995, he was convicted of raping his 14-year-old stepsister.
So these murders, they were just random shootings, and just and then boom, out of nowhere, someone's shot and dead.
Well, he was indicted by a grand jury in August for Oakley's murder, and then in December for the Gonzalez murder. And then this week, he was indicted for Arquette's death. And her mother was actually a really famous author, Lois Duncan, who wrote I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Ooh.
And her mother advocated to find her daughter's killer, going as far as hiring private investigators. She even wrote a nonfiction book, Who Killed My Daughter. And sadly, she died in 2016, but she fought for justice for her daughter Caitlin this whole time.
Wow.
And Carrie Arquette, who is the sister of Caitlin and Lois's other daughter, went on to become a criminologist because of her sister's murder.
Interesting.
Yeah. So police said that Apodaca had been on their radar for a while, and he definitely has information that only the killer would know. And they view him as a serial killer and seemingly picked victims at random. And they all shared one trait, which was they were female. So again, misogyny. These fucking woman haters.
Well, I think misogyny, I mean, maybe let's make this a theme of the episode, is at the basis for the most twisted part of many serial killers, right? They, whatever's hatred for their mom or, a lover that, a spurned or a lover that did them wrong or whatever, or some deep-seated hate, some event from childhood, and then picking, I mean, just think how sick that is. Having a hatred that strong for a woman or any person in your life, and then to the degree where you would go pick people that look similar to them or remind you of them and then murder them and do these heinous acts to them. I mean, what kind of twisted shit is that?
It's fucked up.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really fucked up.
It is fucked up.
And it's a scary world we live in. And when you see... for me, when I see all of this hatred and these comments and these people just fucking being pieces of shit to strangers, these men hating women for no reason other than like we exist in the world, it really sours your opinion, I suppose, and I can see why. Women, we have to walk around with our head on a swivel. Constantly.
Situational awareness. Women have to know this.
Because of this kind of shit.
Yeah.
And these very fucking people who are like, talking trash and just being stupid are the very ones that are probably creeping you out when you're walking alone in a parking lot. Let's be honest.
So me and you actually, right quick, I'll describe a conversation me and you had the other day about these incel types or whatever you want to call it. I don't want to, cast a wide net or broad strokes, but so these people that never have a girlfriend and feel like women reject them, never gave them a chance, to the point where their hatred builds, and then they strike out and turn into a active shooter in whatever scenario, be it at college.
Hey, I'm gonna go shoot up a yoga studio.
I'm gonna shoot up a yoga studio. I'm a whatever, and so me and you describe these type of people in our minds. It's like they set such a very specific type or standard of woman that they feel like they should be with, whatever.
Like they deserve to be with a supermodel, right? They deserve to be with some super hot chick, like, I don't even know who's hot. Kim Kardashian?
I don't know.
Whatever.
Some super hot chick.
Yeah, so some model, Instagram, beautiful, super hot. But it's like, what do they bring to the table?
What are you bringing to the table? Exactly. But then they're kind of
but then they're assholes.
They're assholes
to like regular, average-looking women. You're fat. You're ugly. You've got wrinkles. Right.
You have an insufferable voice.
Yeah.
Right. These are very common comments.
You wear glasses and your hair's dyed.
No, but they do set this the standard for themselves. But they don't. What standard what do they bring to the table? Just like you said, and they're just mean, and it's like they never have any self-reflection. I mean, this happens in so many situations. They never take a step back.
Yeah, and then they'll be like, "This Stacy only wants to date a Chad," and it's like, but here you are, only wanting to date a Stacy and not wanting to date a Bertha.
Exactly,
right?
Bertha's
and
fine.
Bertha's fine. Bertha's funny.
Bertha's
she got a
funny.
good job. She can cook.
There you go. Yeah, there you go.
I mean, come on.
How are you going to chase after someone, man or woman, and just the same type that it just doesn't work for you? And because don't give me that I'm like gross or I'm ugly or whatever. Because there's someone out there for everybody. Let's be honest.
You
did
apparently
find me.
I'm like grotesque or something.
You weren't even looking, right?
Yeah,
and there I was.
Funny.
No, but I'm saying I've seen. I'll just say there's someone out there for everyone. So it doesn't matter what you look like or whatever insecurities you have. There's someone out there that'll give you love back.
Yeah.
But you got to give them love. And you can't just have this superficial, vapid, would that fit in there?
Yeah.
Ideal of a woman that's never going to work for you. That type of woman, like Instagram model, blah, 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 all that, she don't want to be with me, but I don't want to be with her. You see what I'm saying?
Why wouldn't she want to be with you?
I'm just
Apparently, you're awesome and funny and hilarious, and you're like the best thing since sliced bread, Dylan.
I mean, all that is true,
Yeah.
but I'm just a blue collar, a schlub, just mucking around down here in the dirt, building my little empire of dirt. Yeah.
Okay, Trent Reznor.
Oh, yeah? Okay. I'm going to start a rock band.
You should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be called the Papas.
What are you going to play? Like an instrument?
No, I'm going to be a lead singer. I can't play any instruments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could play some spoons. Maybe you could blow into a beer bottle.
I could
an old jug.
I could toot on a jug.
You could.
I can't play any spoons. That shit looks hard.
It does look hard.
I mean, how do you
It's
even
a real talent.
know that you can play spoons?
I think you just have to practice.
An
It's
old
like
timer,
everything else.
Old timer needs to show you.
Maybe.
Okay.
You could probably watch a YouTube video and learn. I don't know.
I bet you could, YouTube. I'm going to do that. I'm playing spoons when we get off here, and I'm going to record it.
Now, this is kind of a cool story, Dylan.
Okay.
Okay, so like we do have like a bit of a positive story here. A Starbucks employee in Texas went viral this week after the employee passed a note in secret to a female patron to make sure she didn't feel threatened by an older man that was like speaking with her.
I actually saw this story, and I thought her phrasing in the message was ingenious.
Now, this 18-year-old female was sitting alone at a Starbucks in Corpus Christi over the weekend when this man approaches her and acting a little strange. The employee wrote on the cup, "Are you okay? Do you want us to intervene? If you do, take the lid off the cup."
Wow, so she gave her, hey, just making sure, getting weird. I feel like this might be a little bit weird situation. And here's that really clever signal for us to like call law enforcement and just have them show up.
And the girl's mother took to Facebook to say she absolutely felt safer knowing that people were watching out for others, especially teenage girls. "I do not feel this was sexist in any way. I truly believe that they would have done it for anyone who is in a vulnerable situation, regardless of gender."
Now, my question is, did she take the lid off the cup?
I don't know, Dylan.
Okay.
I don't know.
Well, I think it's just nice to know that people care, right?
So apparently they described, the daughter, her name's not been released. Her mom's like trying to keep her, I guess protected. Described this man as being incredibly loud. Like she's sitting at a table studying. This guy comes over and wants to talk to her. And he was just like really loud and animated. So the Starbucks employee passed her an extra hot chocolate that someone forgot to pick up with the note, offering instructions about, if you feel unsafe. And her daughter didn't feel threatened, so she didn't remove the lid. There we go, Dylan.
Noise.
But it did receive over 89,000 reactions on Facebook.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
But how many times have you been someplace and you're just trying to like do some work? You're at the gym. You've got earbuds in. You're just minding your own business when somebody comes up and just tries to make conversation with you and won't let it go.
Right. They're not picking up the vibe you're laying down.
No. And I think we mentioned this a couple weeks ago. We were out at one of our kind of favorite little dive bars when we go out. And this guy, you went to smoke, and he came over and would not leave me alone. And I couldn't have been any more blatantly rude, obvious to this man that I was not trying to talk to him. I was like turning my back away from him, and he just kept talking. Like
Right.
He could not take a hint, to the point I felt like I should just be like, fuck off, dude.
Right.
Right? Like, get the fuck away from me. I don't know you. I don't want to talk to you. Leave. Then the idiot asked me if the snake in a jar was pickled snake.
Yeah.
Do people in the South really eat pickled snake? Yes. Now get the fuck away from me. I don't know. But anyway, this is annoying. Like,
So, if she
take a
was
hint.
if she was feeling in the least bit uncomfortable, it was probably consoled her by knowing that other people had her back.
Which is awesome.
Right. And I think that's the point of that. And I think that's great. And I would, if I ran across a situation like that, I would do anything to help as well.
Yeah, I think it's great when you have employees that are attentive and they recognize like this person's obviously not comfortable,
Right.
or they kind of want this person to go away.
All right. Well, kudos to that barista.
I have a question. Do people just do this to you, Dylan?
Just come up and strike up conversation I don't want to take part of and keep on and on.
Yes. Like when you're just trying to get away from them, they just keep on like invading your space.
I think people think I'm mean, right? I mean, I get that vibe.
I
sometimes.
am mean, and
Yeah,
they still won't leave me alone.
Well, they don't realize you really are mean. No, but
So what the hell?
I think that people, and then when I started, I'm very amicable. I'm, friendly, super good small talker. And once I get going, people are like, oh, but I think people just like, oh, this fucking guy. Because I'm just so, I hate to use this word. I'm a specimen, a physical specimen of power. Often been described that way by strangers. And, yeah, so I have to put them at ease with my wit and my eyes, honestly.
Well, apparently I'm just a grotesque gargoyle, like perched up on the side of a building, like hissing at people, right? At least that's what, men say on the internet about me.
Man,
so I'm just like, if I'm perched up on my bar stool, like scowling and like, whatever, breathing fire.
Oh my God.
Just angry. Why they come over and try to talk to me?
I don't know.
Leave me alone.
That dude was gross.
I'm just perched here.
I guess
I'm a gargoyle doing gargoyle things.
I spotted that dude before I even stepped outside with my son to smoke and left you in a vulnerable position.
Yeah, thanks.
But I also know that you can take care of yourself, man. Let's not play that game. Don't do that. You're more likely to fight that guy than I am. Okay?
Thanks.
No, it's true. If he fucks around and finds out, you deliver.
I'll be like Dalton in Roadhouse.
Oh my God. Okay.
Yeah. You don't know, Dylan. You don't know. I'm growing this mullet out.
I'm telling you.
I have the power of Patrick Swayze in my locks, okay?
With every millimeter of mullet that she's growing out here, and it's getting there. It really is.
It's getting there, bro.
And I'm just telling you, the attitude that comes
Silky,
with it.
It's luscious.
I just expect her to come, rolling up in an 18-wheeler with, like 25 gears.
Eastbound now, rolling up and rocking.
Playing some Chris Christopherson.
Some Jerry Reed.
Yes, of course. I knew that was Jerry Reed.
Yeah, I know.
All right. Yeah,
Okay.
What do you think?
All right, great. Now here is something you're going to be excited about, Dylan. A mystery 6-foot goat man roaming near villages.
Where's this at?
Okay, so a 6-foot goat man sighting in the dead of night has locals in and around the village of Staverton in Northamptonshire freaking out, right? Around 2 a.m., this person's out and about, and they see a large figure in front of them. For a brief moment, their car lights illuminated this creature. It had these big, powerful back legs. A second later, this mystery animal was gone.
Oh, my God. Now, is that in the UK?
Yes.
I knew it.
So these folks had traveled away, and they were gone for a few nights. They were coming back home, right? It's quite late. They're driving down the road, almost home about 2 a.m. on this rural road when something crossed in front of their vehicle. Flashed, the headlights flash on it for just a few seconds. They said it was the height of a person, maybe 6 feet or taller, had these short, powerful legs and hips, which seemed to be moving in a circular fluid fashion. It was not a deer because it was standing on 2 legs. Yeah. So there are no houses, no buildings, nothing for at least a mile. Just completely desolate rural road.
So maybe that was a deer rearing up on its back legs, right?
Well, they say it was a goat man.
Okay. He was wearing like a vest. Yeah. Cool. He had glasses on. So they think they can track him through his optometrist.
Yeah, I mean, it's more, they say it looked like a goat man.
Okay, so full on half man, half goat, basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
What'd you do if you saw a half goat man just gallivanting down the road at 2 a.m.?
Well, I mean, obviously I'd be freaked out. I mean, for real. And I'm just tell you right now, goats are strange animals. They're very
I
weird.
love goats.
Have you been around? Yeah, you're talking about baby goats, though.
No, I've been around goats.
Great big billies.
I've been around you. You're like a fucking billy goat.
I don't
like
smell
chewing
like
on a
that.
can and pissing on everything.
Oh, my God.
Pissing in the yard. Like, you can't even use the indoor plumbing. Talk about fucking Appalachia, y'all. Dylan's like, won't even use the indoor. He don't even want to use indoor plumbing.
Look, I'm already out there smoking a cigarette. Why not piss off the porch? What's the big deal?
Because we have neighbors.
Your neighbors ain't seen me.
And I don't want you to piss off my porch.
I do it under the cover of darkness.
Until I turn the porch light on, and then you're like, what are you doing? I'm trying to piss.
That
I'm
happens.
like, well, maybe don't do that, Dylan.
Well, you know what? As long as I don't pee in the same spot over and over, you're never even going to smell it. You know what I'm saying? So it's no party.
No, I don't know what you're saying.
No harm, no foul.
We pay a water bill, and we're connected to the city sewer line for a reason, okay?
And you know what? Every time I do that, I save us money. So there's that. Yeah, I say that pee probably saves a good 3 cents.
It's really building up your small fortune, huh?
Hey,
Is that your retirement plan?
Every nickel helps.
Instead of a 401k, you have like a pee jar?
I got a pee off the porch, Kay.
Every month I put a couple of nickels in this jar.
my
Set for life.
My piss money?
Yeah, this is my pee jar. This is my retirement fund.
Yep. When I pass on, you kids get the piss jar.
I'm turning the thermostat down, and I'm a pee in the yard.
And if I was able to squat more efficiently, I'd have you a poop jar. But so far, we're having to send that to the city waste treatment.
I don't want to know about all that.
Yeah, I can't squat and poop. It'd be too much.
I don't know what you sent earlier, but you need to check yourself. You need some more fruits and vegetables in your life. Dylan, would you eat air protein? I feel like every episode now we just have to talk about weird shit. We talked about tater milk, right? So now we got to talk about air protein.
Wait a second. What in the hell is air protein?
Well, since we're talking about
Now, I've heard of the diet
true
where you
crime
just
news, we're talking about like weird shit, right?
Mhm.
These folks, they're like scientists and shit, are creating meat literally out of thin air.
How does that work? Don't you have to have a cell to start with before you can replicate it?
Air Protein is the startup behind the Air-Based Meat Project, which was co-founded by Dr. Lisa Dyson, an award-winning research physicist and strategy consultant, with the goal of producing meat alternatives. I mean, there are, of course, like plant-based meat alternatives, the Impossible Foods, Beyond Meat, which are all the rage and touted as sustainable future for the meat industry.
Well, and there's also lab-grown meats.
But Air Protein is taking sustainability to the next level, Dylan.
So they're literally pulling the proteins out of the air, and that's the basis of what they're growing.
Well, what they're doing is relying on a bunch of microbes capable of converting CO2 into amino acids, with the final product being a protein-based flour that can be used to make like a bunch of different meatless products.
I mean, okay. I mean, wow. That's kind of interesting. So the amino acids are like the building blocks of life, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that very well could have been what, crashed in the earth on a meteorite.
I'm going to guess. I don't know. I think I made a C in biology.
Yeah, well, no, they're very important. I'm no expert, but I see how they do it now. When you first said that, I was like, there's no way. What the hell? But they're getting the very basic components from the literal air we breathe. Very interesting. Would you eat lab meats? Okay. Would you give it a chance? If let's say it tasted as good, they're not there yet because they have to, work on the fat.
So you're telling me if I've got a big old slab of lab-grown filet mignon and it's just buttery, it's like butter, it's a nice and medium rare, it's gonna melt in my mouth, right?
Yeah, just a perfect steak. Would you be weirded out because they took a scraping from a cow and got a few cells and grew it in a vat in a lab?
I would probably be weirded out, but I'd eat that shit.
Well, honestly, I think that's a rather I mean, it's kind of weird, but I think in the future this is the direction we're going to have to go, or we should go anyway. Look how much farmland, which we need farms. We have to have farms. I'm not saying that, but look how much It's tied up in the production of meat.
Well, you were telling me is like millions of acres, right?
Tyson
The
chicken.
right?
If you consider the land to grow the grain to feed the chickens, plus the chicken houses as well, it's 10 million acres that Tyson Chicken operates to produce the billions. I think they produce billions of chickens a year. I might be wrong on that. But to produce all the chicken they do every year is 10 million acres. That's a lot, right?
Well, I don't own 10 million acres.
Well, yeah, but
Who does besides Tyson?
Well, and if you look at okay, we'll move on from this because I can talk about the science stuff. Very interesting to me, but so you remove the trucks going back and forth, you remove all the farm equipment for growing grain, you remove the cows, right? And I'm not saying we don't need any cows, but so you remove all this activity and mechanical equipment out of the equation because you're just growing these cells in a laboratory setting in literally like a big stainless steel vat. So, I mean, how could that not be better for the environment, honestly?
No, I'm sure it is. I mean, I would eat it, but
Okay.
I'm kind of like Mikey. I pretty much eat anything.
So here's the problem.
And I was in the military, and they will feed you like the worst shit, like mystery. You're not sure. You're just like, I'll take whatever that slimy yellowy thing is, and yeah. So at this point, I'm like, fuck it. I'll eat the lab meat.
Yes. So you got Bill Gates buying up all the farmland, largest private landowner in America now, maybe who knows if the world. And he's also heavily invested in lab meats. So is he going to shut all this farmland down and make us get lab meats? I don't know. He's also preparing us for the next pandemic and the next round of booster shots for whatever pandemic might come along. Isn't this weird stuff to say?
Yeah.
Don't you think that's weird to say? Oh, when not if, or if science is moving forward, when the next one happens, it will be a different pathogen, but we will be able to roll out a vaccine in a matter of months because of the mRNA technology. Aren't you guys happy about that? That's just a very strange statement for me. And who made Bill Gates a fucking doctor? Anyway, is he a doctor or is he a computer guy? Because he's okay. Anyway, we'll save that for batshit crazy.
I don't know. My granny's not a doctor either, but she'll be like, here, drink this groundhog grease when you're sick.
Well, your granny's not directing health protocols worldwide.
Well,
so
she should be. Okay? She should be.
I trust your granny more than I do Bill Gates.
Exactly. Right?
Anyway.
At least her holistic medicine is, natural.
And that's not to say I personally, I'm vaccinated. I got vaccinated. I'm not doing all that, but anyway, fuck Bill Gates.
Fuck all them rich fuckers.
Oh my gosh, we're going off the rails here.
I don't even care. We're off the rails, so can I tell you something? I found this vintage 1987 Barbie and the Rockers Thermos brand lunchbox for $20, and I'm going to buy it.
You're a damn lie. Can I see that?
I need that.
Now, is this a metal edition or is this plastic?
No, it's plastic, but it's awesome.
God.
So I had Barbie and the Rockers as
incredible.
A kid, right? And Ken, and he had this amazing hair. His mullet actually is kind of like my mullet right now. And he wore like this ankle-length silver jacket.
Oh, my God.
So I have to have the Barbie and the Rockers lunchbox.
This is serendipity. They got the They Live lunchbox, dude.
Oh, we got to get that.
I want that one. Holy shit.
We should just start. I have a couple of these vintage lunchboxes.
You do?
We should start collecting them, right?
I want that one. I'm taking it to work.
Obey, consume. They Live is a great movie.
Gosh.
I keep trying to get us on board with like a podcast, a movie podcast. I would love to do like horror movie podcast or cult films, And we've just never been able to like get the magic. It just, I don't know. It's like it's just not there for us, Dylan.
We have tried this time and again, and we're getting a little bit better. It doesn't have to be true crime for us to be able to do it. At first, it seemed like if we tried anything but true crime, it was just weird for us. But anyway, you're just better at talking about movies than I am. I'm just like, well, I like that. Well, that part at the end was cool. And you're like breaking it down, and you actually studied film in college, and all this, stuff. Ooh, look at me, all that stuff. That's why it don't work, Because you're smarter than I am on the movies.
No, it's because you won't watch the bad movies with me. Like, don't look in the basement.
I can't believe that you would even say that. Because you always
true.
say, I watch horrible movies.
Yeah, but I watch good bad movies. You just watch bad movies.
Who picked out Lamageddon?
I think I did.
I think we picked it out together.
No, we didn't.
You can't claim Lamageddon.
I picked out Lamageddon.
Oh my God, that's incredible.
What about Slacks?
If you
On
haven't
Shudder,
seen
about the pants that kill?
Lamageddon, you got to. Modern day cult classic. You have to see it. And Slacks, the pants that kill on Shudder.
Oh, yeah, it is on Shudder. I'm sorry, I said Netflix, didn't I? Yeah, Lamageddon's on Prime. We could make a horror movie here at the house, Dylan, about our refrigerator. Can we just tell these folks who are listening about our fucking refrigerator? Because it's so ridiculous. I don't even know if people will find it as entertaining as we do. I think the kitchen, we live in this old ass house, right? And I think our kitchen floor is warped or
You think?
yeah. So our refrigerator is kind of at the top.
It's about 2 degrees tilted forward.
Right. So
Okay.
every time you open the fridge, something comes flying out at you, right?
Right. And on top
like a mustard or a jar of pickles.
On top of
jam.
that, me and Heather have lived in a few different places now since we've been together. We've never had a refrigerator that had both the operational shelves in the door.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Every refrigerator in every place we've rented, because we haven't bought, because I'm not buying in this fucking market. You can forget that.
I'm not buying here.
Well, anyway. We've never had a fridge that had both the shelves with the thing. There's always one of those missing, or for whatever reason, one of the shelves don't work. So you don't understand how much problems that causes by having to put typical shelf stuff in your refrigerator shelves. And it's just like
your condiments.
Yeah, it's your condiments, your pickles and such. And you just got nowhere to put anything. So you just cram shit in there. And it's like our refrigerator. What did I say the other night? It was, it's pissed off because we've been stuffing it all these years. And now it's just like throwing it back out at us every time you open the door.
No, it's serious. Every time you open the door, something comes flying out at you.
Oh, my God.
You know?
Yeah.
There have been a couple times jars have broken. Shit's gone all over the floor. We're like, what the hell?
Bowl of leftovers.
That was the salsa I was going to snack on. What the hell? Yeah. So I think we could make a horror movie about the fridge.
Well, there's probably some guys out there and gals thinking that maybe I should try to level the fridge up with some shims.
We could call it, because my aunt calls it a frigidary, we would call it the frigidary, the fridge that kills.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, it's the fridge of death.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh, yeah. Like in Ghostbusters when she opens it and there's Zool in the fridge or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, anything else? I believe we may need to put this midweek to bed.
You think so?
Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
We're all over the place. I gotta say,
that's what we're giving the people what they want.
right quick, I must thank, and I would like to thank Heather for all her hard work, because some people may think she's mean. Oh, I literally do just show up. She does all the preparation, all the hard research. She spends hours and hours all week long to, put out these episodes. And I have a little feedback here and there, but not really, honestly.
I read books.
And she reads books.
I read a lot of books.
It's just hours, and it's a lot of work. It's full-time work for her all week, and I do appreciate that for her, from her, and I appreciate a chance to do this podcast with you, and we love all the listeners, and I must right quick thank our patrons, because of their support, we've done yet another incredible upgrade to our studio. We have properly comfy chairs now. And that is the type of thing your support on Patreon does for us. And we love it. And we love you all.
Okay. Well, breaking news, actually, as we're sitting here, Dylan.
No.
From Twitter, explosions have been heard across Ukraine after Putin announces special military operation.
Oh, my God. The war machine that is Washington.
You mean the one that, Eisenhower warned us about?
The military-industrial complex. Yeah, anyone listening, if you've never listened to Dwight Eisenhower's parting remarks after his presidency, warning us about the dangers of the military-industrial complex, taking basically, and corporations for the most part, taking control of our government, you have to hear that speech. It's eerie, and it will blow your mind. But they've been trying to drag us into this conflict in the Ukraine and with Russia because, things are winding down in the Middle East. We've been blowing up the Middle East for how many years now? For what reasons? Yeah, okay, don't get me started. But and it's like the American people, for the most part, are war weary. It happens after a while, and we're just like, we're not even into that, dude. We're not into it. But they have tried and tried to drag us into it, and now this is scary.
It's really
People are
scary.
being harmed and killed in the Ukraine, likely right now.
Well, here's another bit of information that's via Twitter is that Twitter accounts that are sharing videos from Ukraine are being suspended. And this is when they're needed the most. This is when citizen journalists with an iPhone capturing, what is unfolding, documenting history. That's what we need, and that's what makes social media useful to us.
See, here
is this type of thing.
Can I say the internet was a leap forward, especially for the everyday person, the ability to share information, get information. And see, where we screwed up is we started gathering in one place, right? Where one company controlled what the content and all that bullshit. So we put the control back in these monopolies' hands. And it's time for us to decentralize the internet. There's nothing wrong with going to heatherpacker.com, her website that she fully controls. But what we do is we want to do it through TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, Spotify, Google. And these companies are allowing the government to pressure them to censor. It's rampant censorship, right? And for Twitter to do that is fucking disgusting. And everyone should not go on Twitter tomorrow and protest, because this type of thing, and Facebook does it, Twitter does it, everybody does it. It's bullshit. And we're the value of those companies are our eyeballs and our patronage and our time spent on their product, whatever it may be. And we still can take that back. So we got to decentralize. And we can't allow this censorship to continue.
Well, just
Holy
speaking
shit.
to that, Dylan, I worked in media for many years, and I have worked at like independently owned small town newspaper, worked at an independently owned small town radio station. And when you get into corporate media, that's the problem. You have 3 news stations running shit, right?
Yeah.
And slanted, we're not getting real news. It's bullshit. That shit needs to be broken back up. Think about the objective news reporting you got when it was independently owned, small town, small news media. You might have a little cluster of radio stations. You might have a little cluster of newspapers.
But they were regional.
But they were yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So much better, because now it's like op-eds. It's just editorializing. It's not facts. We're not getting facts.
Have you seen the montages of like all the daily programs across the whole gamut when they're all saying almost word for word the same fucking thing? Have you seen those? You got to look some of those up, because that's literally like it starts in the morning with the loop, and it's literally this talking head, and it's this message across everything, the internet, every channel on TV, your local news, the national news. And it's scary. It's scary, right? Oh my God. What are we going to do?
I don't know, dude.
I had another good point, but I lost it.
I guess we're going to buckle up and see where this Ukrainian news takes us. Hopefully we'll be here on Sunday with a brand new case. And Dylan, this is a very interesting case. It's actually one that I was not super familiar with. Found it. It's been on my list for a while. And I think our listeners are going to really enjoy it, because it's a strange story. And I can't believe this guy isn't more famous. It's a serial killer, very little known.
Oh my God.
Murdered throughout the South.
Damn.
So it is going to be a nail biter. You're going to want to tune in for it.
I cannot wait. I will be here.
You will?
Yeah.
You're going to go ahead and RSVP?
Can I?
Répondez s'il vous plaît.
I won't be +1.
Okay.
My one's already there. It's you.
Oh.
Hey.
Hey, animated hearts circling all around.
That's right.
Okay, Snow White. You ready to call it a night, Dylan? Throwing in the towel?
Yep, I got my towel. I got it ready. I'm going to throw it right when the head hits the mat. so I save a little bit of damage to the boxer.
Don't forget, Thursdays, Batshit Crazy. Our other podcast drops, so you can find that tomorrow wherever you download. Make sure you hit subscribe and have Batshit Crazy, coming right to your phone, your computer, wherever you listen to your podcasts. It's going to be all up in your ear hole.
Yes, and the only other little favor we've been asking of late is go to our YouTube channel, Mountain Murders Podcast, and subscribe. Even if you don't watch it on YouTube or listen on YouTube, the subscription really helps us out. We're almost right there, so they can quit robbing us of our content. Oh, that was my other point I wanted to say. I'm not going to mention what hosting provider we use for the podcast, but it's recently been bought by iHeartMedia, right?
Yeah.
And as soon as they took over and got their hooks sunk in, because we've had no problem with this hosting platform for years, the ad revenue fell off by at least 35 to almost 40%, even though our impressions and our downloads and everything are going up higher than ever. So that's about what you were describing there of this corporate centralization and control. So you take this platform that's been fine when it was its own little thing, and they were giving out a decent ad revenue to all the creators. So the bean counters from iHeart come in, and it's not good enough to just, restructure things. They want to take literal dollar here, dollar there, $5 there from content creators who are the only reason for their platform.
Well, that's because iHeart is like a toilet, and they've basically had to file bankruptcy and shit because they bought all these stations and they can't afford
and then radio
to keep
died.
Up. Yeah.
Because they want to play the same.
Oh, dude. I mean, we could talk for hours about that. Last year before, I had many friends in radio getting laid off like crazy. Layoffs all around because iHeart, they're just stretched too thin.
Well, you said they won't.
And now radio is like, antiquated.
They would instead of letting you, because I would still turn a radio station on and listen if you play good music, not the same 7 songs over and over. You know what I'm saying?
Corporate radio.
But it's corporate radio.
They've got 15 songs in their rotation, and that's what you're going to hear.
Oh my God.
So I hope that you like "Call Me Maybe," because you're probably going to hear that like 100 times.
Well, they even take a good song, they play it so many times you hate it.
Yeah.
So
like Whitney Houston, "Want to Dance with Somebody," cannot listen to that song now.
Oh my God. All right, I'm gonna put this little gal to bed, rub her little shoulders.
Sure you are.
She's been working hard all day.
He says that, but he's not. He hits the pillow and he's gonna be out.
Well, actually, the last couple nights you go to sleep before me. It's weird. I'm not used to you going to sleep before me.
It's because I've been tired.
Okay.
I've been tarred. I've been plumb tarred.
All right, and we will see you next time. Join us on Sunday.
Bye.